Okay, so I'd like to teach you a little remez that's related to the Shema that hopefully will transform your life if you're married. And there's a few things that I've noticed about the Shema over the years that once I've learned them, you can't unlearn them, you can't forget about them. It's so profound sometimes that it's just like you think about it and meditate on it every time you cover the Shema. It's one of those things that just permutes in your mind. So this one hopefully will impact your marriage. And if you do see that it impacts your marriage, please put it in the comments if this is something that helps you in your life, so that other people can see the power and the kavod of Hashem, of what he has implanted within the Torah, the greatness of the Torah. So this is based on a remez on the idea of like Reshe Tevot and Sofei Tevot, so first letters and last letters. So I'll show you this. So if you take the Shema, the first 6 words there, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. So the first letter of that phrase is a shin. The last letter is a dalet. Okay. Now you go next to the V'ahavta. The V'ahavta starts out V'ahavta, which means and you shall love. And there's a vav at the beginning of that word. And then at the end of that paragraph, you have Al Mezuzot Betecha Visharecha. So the last letter of that paragraph of V'ahavta is a chaf. Okay. So those letters spell shidduch. So this is kind of like the idea of like your match, right? This is like your spiritual match or spiritual mate is referred to with this word. This isn't like a word that you typically find in the Torah itself, but the root of this word is found in the Torah. So the idea is Shema. That's the word. That's where we get this. The first letter, shin, right? To hear. So you need to listen. You need to listen and be open and listen to your spouse. Okay. The next letter we get, this is the last letter of the line Shema Yisrael, right, is a dalet from the word echad. So you need to create oneness. You need to concentrate on creating oneness with your spouse. And then the next letter, V'ahavta, obviously it says, and you shall love. The vav is a conjunctive. It's a joining word, right? So you need to figure out ways to join your spouse in your life to keep that togetherness. But ahava, love, means the carryings, right? To carry someone. So this isn't like, so love in Hebrew is not like romantic love and stuff like that. It's literally carrying somebody else through your life. So the main idea with that is that if there's a deficiency in your spouse, and you're going to see lots of deficiencies in your spouse, and they're going to see deficiencies in you. And this is the reason why we have a spouse, so they can help us build on our character and things like that. But there needs to be that willingness and the attention to it to fill in the gaps in that person's life so that they feel complete and that they don't feel burdened by their deficiencies. So that's the vav is from the word v'ahavta, and then the chaf at the end. So the very last word in that paragraph is like sha'ar, like the gate, right? So Kabbalistically, if you see a Hebrew book that's named sha'ar something or sha'are something, gate or gates of, those are Kabbalistic books. But anyway, this is a very deep concept because the gates in your life, so the gates of your home, the gates of your life. So you have senses like organs that are gates, right? Okay, so speaking, smelling, hearing, and seeing. So these are the things that you want to guard, right? Because your senses, used in the wrong way, they lead you astray, right? And you want to make sure that you're not speaking bad against your spouse to other people and things like that would ruin the reputation in front of somebody else. Like you might think that you're asking for, a friend's advice or counseling on a certain matter, but in reality, you're destroying your spouse and their reputation in the eyes of other people. So you need to find ways that mitigate that if you need to go search for help, right? Where you're not like destroying that person where the reputation is just ruined. And now, basically they want to divorce you because everybody in your life is like sees them negatively and sees all their bad traits whenever it's not, discussed about anything good they do, and those are problems in a marriage themselves. But so the other thing about gates is what do you let in and out of your life, right? Gates. What do you let into your life? What do you let out of your life? In the Torah and in the Tanakh as general, it always talks about judges at the gates, right? The elders sit at the gates, the judges are at the gates, right? So you need to judge and really sift through and sort the things that come in and out of your life. And that's something you need to have a lot of attention, you pay attention to. And also words that end like visharecha, right? That end with a cough. It's like that togetherness, like your gates, right? It's not like my gates, it's your gates, right? So there's already a intention of unity and united possession of something. Okay, so these are things we need to think about. And if you literally think about this and it goes into your mind, it will be very difficult for you to not think about this every time you say the Shema. So your match, your divine match, you need to concentrate on Shema, listening to your spouse, and your spouse listening to you, obviously, but that's something you can't force. Echad, with the last letter, Dalet, so Echad, right? So oneness, right? And V'ahavta is joining, right? Because the Vav is a joining, it's an and, right? And you show love, right? So, and then the word love ultimately is the carryings, right? So being aware of the things that you need to carry your spouse through and the deficiencies that you need to fill in their life. And then visharecha, the gates, right? Your gates in your lives, what you let in and out of your life. People you speak to, people you talk to, things you see, things you hear and listen to. Music, if you're listening to music that's talking about broken relationships, something like that. Those are things you don't want into your life at all. It doesn't matter if the song sounds wonderful. Find some other song in your life. Okay, so that the Shema can transform your relationships, your relationship with your spouse. Okay, so it's a wonderful power that the Shema has. There's so many things that it encapsulates. So hopefully that has inspired you to a more wonderful and perfect union with your spouse. And if that inspires you in such a way that it creates results, please share it in the comments and share this video if you like it. I don't really tell people to share videos, but I think this is something that can transform people's lives so very significantly, because this is a deficiency that we have in our society is our spouses, our marriage unions and things like that. So please share this with your friends. Teach them the same thing. Transform their concept of what the Shema also teaches. And in the Shema, it also even, it talks about our children too. You shall teach them thoroughly to your children and speak of them when you sit in your home and when you're on the way. So when you sit in your home, when you sit down for dinner, these are things that are inside the Shema. You should be sitting down to dinner. You should have like some Torah thought that you share with your family. Grab a little book. If you don't have one that's original, just share something, read something, whatever it takes, a psalm. Something as simple as that can transform the table that you sit down with your family with. And don't be intimidated that, if you're someone that's not like keeping kosher and you're out in some restaurant or something. If you're not at that level yet, you can still do it. Don't be intimidated. Teach your family. But ultimately, I encourage a kosher life. But anyway, thanks for watching.